Welcome to F-Man's RSS review. Today is Sunday, February 7th. The year is 2010. This is what's gone on in the past week in the RSS world. Currently following 120 feeds across a variety of different topics. The hottest thing this week, coming in at 41.2 degrees Celsius, is Siri. And Siri is really cool. It is an iPhone app that essentially is your own digital personal assistant. And they've got some great partners on this. So it really makes for an all-encompassing app. But we'll get to that in a moment. You can type in what you want, or you can just say it. So you say, hey, I'm looking for a romantic restaurant. And Nuance, if you saw the logo there, is one of the leaders in voice dictation software. So F-Man's a big fan of them. And there you go. It shows you a list of all the different romantic restaurants in your neighborhood. You can find everything from gas stations to what movies are playing. Just a wide variety of different things. You can even go and make a reservation at any of these restaurants. And here are some of their partners: Open Table, Taxi Magic, Weatherbug, All Menus, Yelp, Rotten Tomatoes. So Siri, it is definitely a cool app. F-Man has downloaded it and has made his iPhone just a tad less crappy. So let's see what else is happening this past week in the RSS world. Google has released some new software for its Nexus. It helps with Google Maps. 3.4 is integrated. There is night mode for navigation. Very, very cool. As well as what was really important to Google and Nexus 1 in particular is 3G connectivity. A lot of people were complaining that their 3G was a little bit too slow for them, so they definitely picked that up, as well as they added the Google Goggles application inside of Nexus. So good for Google for so quickly coming to the aid of their users and fixing some serious problems and adding some new features. Monster.com, big news from the employment site, aside from the fact that unemployment is still a major issue. They went off and spent a lot of money and bought hot jobs out of Yahoo. I think something like $250 million. So Yahoo has unloaded some of their crap and gave it to Monster. So hopefully it will help some people go and find jobs. Knock wood, F-Man has his, but if you try out Monster, maybe you will find yours. Let's see, anything else that is hot in the world of RSS? Nothing just yet. So, as always, save a few things. Gotta love Mark Cuban, always in for a good quote. Called Google a vampire this past week. He is probably correct. And essentially, what it comes down to is he is angry because Google refuses to stop, quote, stealing content unquote, according to Rupert Murdoch, and putting it in their own Google paper kind of world, Google News. There's also a wide variety of other reasons, but the fact is, Mark Cuban essentially just has to talk about stuff. If you forget about Mark Cuban, he has to say something or do something so that he is remembered. But the more he does it, the less viability there is. But one thing in particular that struck F-Man as the most ridiculous comment was, quote, "There is no need to be indexed in Google." Enough said. Not that F-Man is the biggest Google fan, but the reality of the situation is that Google is huge and you need to be indexed in Google. Mark, love ya, but you get a thumbs down today. Huge fan of chili peppers, and if you follow F-Man's blog, you will know that he does talk about chili peppers from time to time, and F-Man loves food hot, and you should as well. So one of the things that is really good is that, of course, if you eat a lot of hot peppers, they numb pain. And F-Man knows that. I mean, he can eat a ton of hot peppers, and the more he eats, the more numb his mouth gets. It's weird. It's kind of a spicy numb, but it works. Another reason it's good for you is they say it helps fight cancer. That thing, Caspian, that makes can never pronounce that. Capsaicin. Isn't that a country? Um, Essentially what it does is it helps cells die, because what a tumor sometimes is a collection of cells that are supposed to have died but just go freakazoid instead. So that's another nice reason to eat your hot peppers. And also, if you're eating bad tasting food, throw some chilies on there, can make things taste a little bit better. Not to mention the endorphin high you get from chili peppers. Let's see what else there is. Okay, some people might think this is good, some people might think this is bad. F-Man can't quite seem to figure it out just yet, but the Pentagon chief that was head of the F-35 aircraft program has been fired. Now, the good thing is that a general has been fired. There's one less of them on the planet. The bad news is that the reason he got fired was because this airplane is so far behind schedule and so much more expensive than what it should be that somebody's probably going to come in now and fix the thing all up. Also, here from Machu Picchu, F-Man has been standing right there in the picture. He has been there not too long ago, maybe about a month ago, in fact. Actually, 2 months ago. And Machu Picchu, the town that you go to, has been essentially wiped out. Well, not really wiped out, but it has definitely been severely hampered. And this is nice to see lots of people helping. But here's the river. F-Man would walk across this bridge to get to Machu Picchu or the botanical garden, but you can't really walk there as much anymore. Here's a brave soul. That water, although it is still really treacherous when it is not as high, definitely with the rains, it looks pretty tough. And that's a hotel on the left. that one of the nicer ones in Machu Picchu Pueblo. But here is everybody trying to help out, looking for wood for fire so that people can eat. The town was completely shut off. There's no road in and no road out. The only way is by train, and the whole uh, train tracks were ripped off, so people had to get brought out by helicopter. And just want to give a thumbs up to BMW Sauber for launching their car, although it uses a Ferrari engine. Glad to see that they are still in survival mode. You can thank Peter Sauber for that one. Thanks for dropping by, and we will see you next week. Make sure you visit fman.com. EPH